I forgot that I was on mute. My bad. I just saw that I was on mute. All right, what's good, everybody? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Now that I got you guys with me, now you guys can hear me. What's good, everybody? Hopefully everybody is with me. Let me know if you guys can hear me because I know I just have my thing. Yeah, you're muted. I got you. Good looks, Rome. I didn't even realize that at first. I just saw that the light wasn't on, but thank you for letting me know. I definitely appreciate that. All right, so we are good. We should be good to go. Let me know if you guys can hear me so that way we can, in fact, I'll get started. Am I still on mute? Let me know. Let me actually just double check on my phone. Okay, no, you guys can hear me. Okay, I forgot I could check on my phone really quick. All right, so good morning, everybody. Again, just wanting to jump onto the charts with everybody, see what we can get for this week, rather, because on a Monday we could really get an idea of what the market is going to set up to be, and then possibly find some opportunities within some of these markets. So I'll definitely take a look at some things that I personally want to see. Some of my favorite charts to trade, such as gold, GJ, or any yen pair for that matter. And then I'll obviously answer any and all questions that you guys may have, and then also see what charts you guys want to take a look at, so that way we can stay relevant to obviously educating you, giving you guys some value, and really making sure that you're making strides in your trading career. So again, just want to give back to the trading community. I'm starting to see a lot of craziness. So I think that in order for me to at least see that there's still some kind of consistent value being given, take the opportunity to go ahead and give that to you guys. So hopefully you guys got that. All right, let me see. Loud and clear. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right, again, for everybody that's just joined on, again, good morning. Thank you guys for being on with me today. Want to start off the week great. See if there's any potential profits that we can obviously get. See if there's any markets that we can probably get a strong idea on. I say it like that because Mondays are usually the days that it's just really not really, I wouldn't say stuck, but you're not going to get a lot of volatility, not that many opportunities, if that. So you really want to just identify what the market's going to give you for that week. And then as your analysis starts to come into your favor, into fruition, then you could take the opportunity for your trade. So let me see real quick. All right, perfect. So I do want to take a look at actually just randomly, now that we're actually on EuroCAD, I actually do want to take a look at this because I'm looking at an opportunity over here. But let me get a strong basis of the overall. I mean, I don't even really need to do much else on that. Right now, I'm on the daily time frame, and what I'm trying to do is see if there is anything that I can get from here, such as a trend, any patterns, any type of strong idea that can continue to tell me what the market is going to do. Now, if we look left to get right, we can understand that right now we are very much in a bearish market. We can see that it's selling off, it's creating lower lows and lower highs. And this actually does look very good as a continued sell, because as you can see here, let's zoom in really quick. As you can see here, there is actually a break and retest of this point. So let's actually write this out really fast, because now I wasn't really paying attention to this before, but I definitely am now. So we can see here, break, retest, break, just a simple concept, nothing crazy, right? Retest. So if I can see the market giving us that basic idea, right? The market is broken below that level of structure, making it a new structural low. And we can see that it corrected back up, creating a new structural lower high. So is there any other ideas that I can get from here? Let's see. Nah, I'm not going to force a trend line. But what we can do is actually use a Fibonacci retracement tool, swing high, swing low. And you can see it came right up here to the 50% retrace ratio. Now, this would have been the entire zone, but as you can see here, the confluence led to use that 50. All fib ratios are important. Just don't focus on one. Don't ever think that, oh, which fib ratio should I always place my... It doesn't matter. Wherever the market is showing you, you take it. So I can get rid of this. I'll get rid of the fib. I was going to get rid of everything, but I'll keep the level of structure up there. When we scale down to the 4-hour, you can see the rejection from that level pretty like impulsively, if you will. You can see that we have a candlestick pattern forming here too. Why is my tools not working? There we go. You can see that we have these 3 candlesticks here giving us a strong bearish intent, or a strong bearish move. That's a candlestick pattern here as well. This candlestick here is important too, because as you can see here, there's no wick to the downside. That's important. So if you guys don't understand that concept, again, I always tell you guys on these calls, understand what candlestick patterns are telling you, or candlestick, the behaviors of them are initially telling you, because that's really important. So we can see how it, again, on the smaller time frame, is starting to create more lower points. It consolidated, got stuck here, broke through. So what I do believe with EuroCAD now is, since we do have a minor breakthrough from that point, the next structural low is here. It could sell back down to this area, and we could do one of two things. Well, a few things rather. So we could do this, which is what I do think is going to happen. And we may have to correct our fib here in a bit if it continues to push down low, but right now this is where it's correcting. So this is where we'll put our fib. We can look for a retest of the structure point. This will be our kill zone, to sell back down to there. And that'll be our first take profit. So this is what we could do. We can actually label this as sell kill zone and identify some potential profits from there. So a beautiful way to start off our Monday. So identify a potential trade even leading. And this is most likely going to happen today, you know, because this is right there. So we can actually identify a potential spot there for sells. Now, if anybody's wondering, should we buy into the correction there? No, I don't think we should, because that could just continue to sell. That's the last thing we wanted to do, is like buy when the market is still a sell, right? So if that does in fact fruition, we could do something like that. And this would be targets 1. With targets 1, we can also look for a potential buy from there, right? Excuse me. We can look for potential buys from there, because that's the better idea of where a correction may in fact start to happen. I know we're looking for a correction here, but everything is subjective right now, because it could just drop from here and then we have a better idea of buying from our correction leading into our sell, because that could even happen. But this is what the idea, what I would look at with EuroCAD right now, just randomly too. This is not a market I was intending on looking at, to be completely honest. It just kind of stood out for me for real quick. But all right, I'm not frozen. I got you guys loud and clear with me. Perfect. Again, for everybody who just joined on, good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for being on. So let's go take a look at gold really quick. And then if you guys have any charts you want me to take a look at, feel free to start leaving those in the chat. I'll definitely take a look at those here in a second. But I do want to take a look at gold. The reason why is, 1, it's a very volatile market, and 2, it pays out very well, and 3, it really depicts the future of a lot of other markets too, right? Because we know what gold's doing. We know what the dollar's doing for the most part. So what I do want to see is on the higher time frame. I know we went over gold so many times so far, being on these calls, but I definitely want to make sure that everybody understands if they were not. The one thing I need to understand is the higher time frame always. And I can see, if I look left to get right, we can see how the market came to a level of resistance and respected it. And we can see again the rejection from that range. Very important that we understand that. So I scale down to the daily. There's a pattern there. You could probably see it better on the 4-hour. Actually, we'll just do that. Here on the 4-hour, you can see how this has like one left shoulder, the head. There was a head and shoulders pattern within here as well, which caused the original sell. And you can see this is forming out to be the bigger right shoulder. Now, this is also setting up as a head and shoulders pattern within the right shoulder itself. So we can see this being the left shoulder, the head of the pattern, again, the right shoulder. And as weird as this is, I didn't even see that until now. It's just weird. When you train your eyes to see something, it's hard to not see it over and over. So we might actually get a trade opportunity here on gold live. So let's look at this. Another potential head and shoulders pattern. So let's actually scale down to a smaller time frame. We might have a trade. I actually do like this, to be honest. Am I frozen? No. I actually do like this, because even here on the 15-minute time frame, there's a double top, 5-minute. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to go ahead and look for sells here on gold, to be completely honest. Did it break above that? No, it did not. So we have a really strong candlestick pattern here. Just the variance of them. Even when we scale down to the majority of each time frame that we would use to scale into a trade, we're starting to see rejection with our candles. 1-hour time frame. Not so much of the wicks, but we have a bearish engulfing rejection from that range, which is important, because the market said, all right, let's get back to here. And as soon as it got to that price, it said, hold up, let's chill. And then as you see here, it's still stagnating. Here on the 4-hour, not so much of anything, because the candlesticks are still kind of developing here, and not so much here on the daily. But you can see even here on the daily, you're just in a consolidated little range. this is most likely building up the momentum and energy needed to break lower. So I'm going to start looking for sells here on gold, right? So this is what my trade setup is going to look like. And as this develops, there's probably going to be, you know, a few more entries that I place on this because it might just chill here within its little range here for a bit, develop a little bit more, I would say, volatility, and then make its move. But this is what I would be looking for here with gold, to be completely honest. I believe my stop loss is just above because with gold, you don't want to. Sometimes I do it, to be honest, because gold is gold. You don't want your stop loss all the way up here, though. That's a little bit too much. But for at least here is probably a good idea. So this will be my first take profits. And then obviously this will be my ultimate take profits. This is more than enough for me, especially on gold, depending. It doesn't even matter what lot size you put. So any trend lines I could add? Nah, I'm not going to force one. Anything that we could do here? We could actually do this for future reference. That could be a future reference. This trend line is not confirmed, only because there's only 2 touches of it. So it's not confirmed, but in the idea that, let's say it does sound like this, then it's confirmed. It also, even if we did get kind of a sell from there, I mean, that trend line, even at the second point, could somewhat be considered valid, but we'll keep it like that for now. So I'm not going to place it yet. I'm just looking at, I'm marking this up because when I jump onto gold, I want to know exactly what I'm identifying, right? So I will be looking for sells here. I want to see how it develops a little bit more. As it kind of develops more, you might get to do this, like kind of how it's doing already. See how this candle's kind of just creeping back up. If you want to get in, your better idea is obviously like in this area, it's kind of getting to that point now. And it's also the reason why is because let's say if it does break above this point and you're in sells, it's going to be a little bit more, I would say, difficult to identify more confirmed sells because it's breaking a little bit higher. So I wanted to let this develop a little bit more, but in the sense of what I'm looking for, this would be how my trade setup would be. I know the entry, I mean, if it pushes up a little bit higher, my stop loss will be the same. My take profit will be the same. I'll just adjust this. But everything, actually, let me actually do this because I do want the stop loss to be exactly the same. So no matter what, and I already know what the take profit will be, so that doesn't really matter. So yeah, this is what I will be looking at with gold. So it kind of gives us a strong idea with what's going to potentially happen with other U.S. cross pairs. GU, please, definitely. What's good, King? Hey, please tell you're not a scalper. No, I'm definitely not a scalper. I'm absolutely not a scalper, brother. I got you. I just wanted to make sure I was wording that right because I don't have my contacts in. So if I look crazy trying to like zoom in to the charts because I apologize in advance. All right, so it says somebody said GU, absolutely, and my man Ibrahim was good, yo. All right, so let's take a look at GBP USD. So if we're looking at sells for gold, that might tell us that there's a potential idea for sells on GBP USD because the dollar is going to take over. Oh yeah, we are in sells on GU. This is, if I'm correct, from last week as well. And I did get us in the auto trade, I think, on this as well, so that's perfect. So I mean, still the same idea. I'll get rid of everything. We'll mark this up more of along the lines of like a new or of adaptive way because obviously the market has moved. So we can just draw this initial trend line. If I can, I connect it. Oop. Let me make sure this is as accurate as possible. So, I mean, we can do something like that, but I would just leave it like this for right now as an initial trend line. We're kind of cheating in a sense because we can already see what the market has done. Obviously, in the original sense of my trend line, I would have probably put it to that wick because obviously it looked like this before, right? So if I could see that it was like that before, I'm not going to be able to cheat and be able to use where the market actually is now. But since we are, ooh, that was perfect. I knew I almost had that. I wanted it to be perfect on that wick right there. But as you see here, it's like I do see the idea of this trend line being valid. Now, again, with this market, we're looking at an overall sell. When we scale out to higher time frames, I mean, we're looking at this market as a strong sell. It's been creating lower lows and lower highs this entire time. And as you can see here, this bearish trend line was respected pretty impulsively each time. And this, as respected here, you can see how impulsive to the downside it is. And I'm sorry for the noise in the background. I live in New York City, so everything's loud, everything's crazy. So I do apologize. No matter where you are, you can live in a nice neighborhood, which I do, and it's still like ridiculous. Especially actually in the nicer neighborhoods because they always doing construction or some type of like building there. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. But again, I can see how this market is creating lower lows, lower highs. It's going to continue to push down lower because you see the break and the retest from that point. And since you do have the break and the retest from here, you can see how the original low is here. For the most part, when we're looking at a market to continue its patterns or continue its ways, it must reach those lows in order for it to make a decision. And if not, it'll start to find buys from there, and then we can identify buys, obviously. But if not, and it breaks below, then we already know exactly what's going to happen. And we can start to see that the market is giving us that. So I still think that with GU, you're looking for sells. Again, look at this. Even here on the 4 hour, I can see this. I mean, I don't mean to beat a dead horse, but if the market's going to leave these clues, I'm going to use them. Break of the initial neckline. If I actually just draw the neckline really quick. All right. So you have the break of the neckline. It almost came back to retest perfectly, but it actually came back to retest the structure of the pattern itself, being the previous lows that was broken out of. Right. You can see here. Break. Did I freeze yet? Perfect. I ain't freeze. My camera's doing good. And you can see the retest. So me being able to see that retest is important, right? Because now we can see what was happening and what is currently happening. What had happened was the market came back to retest that level of structure. We can even use our Fibonacci retracement tool, swing high, swing low. And you can see here it came back to respect that 61.8, the golden ratio, right? Now we can see that it's made its impulsive move to the downside. It's not impulsive because it's still making its move. But what I would identify is continued sells. Now, if I get rid of this Fibonacci retracement tool and we use our extensions, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to identify this is our level of structure. This would be targets 1 if anybody's already in sells on GU. Targets 1. Or just simply a level of support because obviously the market could start to be bullish from this point. So I'm going to take a Fibonacci extension tool, swing high, swing low, bring it right back up to swing high. And now we're getting confluence that this might be the best area for us to take profits. And that could also be a potential buy zone. Now, I'm not talking about a reversal. I'm talking about maybe a short-term buy before it pushes back lower. We can get opportunity on that buy, which is considered a counter trend trade. Or in the idea of, you identify the correction, it can come back to retest this level of previous structure and then identify continued sells. So something like this. So with GU, I still see this as a sell, but it's a matter of where at this point, right? So I'm going to get rid of everything. And if you're looking for sells, I mean, that looks like a nice area. So we can take a fib even on this time frame. Oh, there we go. Swing high, swing low. We already have respect of that range. It's coming right back to that level of resistance. I mean, even on this time frame, this is just 1 hour resistance. H1 structure, I'll just put structure. H1 structure. You can even put sell kill zone. You can see I can't even see anything right now because I don't got my contacts in. Sell kill zone. There we go. So, there's no M in that. All right, so H1 structure, sell kill zone. Now, I'm not saying immediately go and sell from that point. You know what I mean? You want to identify how the market is going to develop around this area for you to identify any potential entries. Now, if you're already in, perfect. You know what I mean? Because if you got in at a higher point and you're in profits, then you know you're good. Let me just double check and make sure you guys are good. Please check oil. Which one? Because I don't even think I have oil on this like saved. But I mean, it's a very evident thing. Oil is going to increase and keep going up. I don't know how it looks on the chart. I have not looked at that in a while, but let's see. What is it? U.S. oil? Let's see what this looks like now. Yep. Oh, wow. I don't even know the last time I actually looked at this, but whatever previous idea I had worked out beautifully. But yeah, you're definitely looking for those buys. I mean, that's a gimme, Like, the one thing I want to let everybody know is if the market is moving in a direction, you're going to follow. I'm not saying the trend is your friend anymore, but like, it is true. You know what I mean? Like, you want to, that's a very bullish market. From what Corona, this is coronavirus. Corona? Oh, I don't even know if I can say that. The the deadly germ, if you will. When oil came to the negatives, does it show here? Because I know before it didn't. Okay, it does show. Yeah. So, oh, it doesn't show. So I don't know why, but oil was actually negative. I don't know if that ever happened in history in any market, but at the time when that happened, when like the world shut down, um, this was actually negative. I think it actually went negative 40, almost $44. Since that point, same thing with all indexes like US 30, NAS 100, XPX 500, steady increase. I mean, not even a steady. I mean, it has not had so much of a really losing, I would say, time, except for maybe here and maybe here. I don't know what those cases were at the, like on a fundamental aspect, might be even technical, but I mean, it even surpassed that from then. So I mean, you're just looking for straight buys on this. You're not looking for any sells. I personally don't trade this, like day trade this by no means. So I'd probably be the worst person to tell you this or tell you the information on this. And also because I know oil and a lot of individuals who do trade this strictly, they have a lot of fundamental analysis that goes with this as well. So I know that does play a huge factor with this. So I'd probably be the worst to tell you. But I would think that this would just be a continued buy, to be completely honest. You can see this, market. So as far as where, I mean, that's up to you. But as far as overall analysis, and even right now, if you do want to understand the smallest understanding of the fundamental aspect is, have we looked at gas prices? Have we, especially leading into the summer, or not summer, to spring, summer, like leading into to those times, I think with traveling and everything, it'll increase in value, because it's going to be more of a demand, and they're going to need to supply it. So I do think that there is going to be more of a bullish idea. But as far as where, I wish I could tell you. Unfortunately, I can't. So I'll definitely make sure if you have another chart, I'll give you better information on that one. I got you. Makes sense? Yeah, it does, right? Because, like, again, on the fundamental aspect, we got to understand exactly what's being given to us. And, I mean, if we look at everything right now, oil, gas, everything has just been increasing in value, or just increasing in price, rather. I personally, if anybody has a car that eats gas, I'm pretty sure you guys are feeling that. I definitely am too. My car eats gas like it's ridiculous. I can't even. I go down a block and I'm already at a half a tank when I had a full tank. That's not even a lie. So I definitely understand that aspect, and that's what's being I would say the causing effect right now for this to be very bullish. I know right now we're kind of in a downtrend, even here on the smaller time frames, but the overall synopsis is, I mean, even since they did say, when did the prices start increasing? Like maybe December, January-ish, and that's kind of like what we're looking at here, so that time has been increasing inside time. So I do think, again, it'll be more along the lines of bullish, but who knows? I know that right now with the sanctions going over with what's going on across the world, I don't even know if I could say that being here on YouTube right now. I think that that's also going to play a huge factor on this. So any commodities, any type of indexes, I mean, even with forex pairs, obviously, but those have a stronger reaction to fundamentals, especially with what anybody says. If Putin says something, if Biden says something, we can see how that does have a reaction with the market. So with oil, if you're day trading it, be very, very careful. But I do think more along the lines of a bullish idea. But all right, let's see what else we got. I want to make sure that we're taking a look at the majority of everything. So I want to take a look at GBP JPY real quick, which is one of my favorite pairs to trade, because we're looking at GU and oil. Let's take a look at GBP JPY. Now, a lot of these yen pairs, as you can see, were extremely bullish. Oh yeah, I got to go into the monthly for this if I'm correct. Let's see. I don't think this really had. Oh yeah, this was the structure I was looking at, but I really don't even feel as this is a really significant structure here, to be completely honest, because it's really not. I mean, if we even look further left, maybe, but I don't really consider this too much of a significant structure. But it is seeming to hold off as it, because we can see resistance and this was support. So maybe, yeah, okay, I can see how that's actually pretty significant. So we'll keep this as a structural zone. Let me see. Yep, no problem, man. You ever consider getting an EV? I know a few EVs. What you talk about? Which EV you talk about? I know a chick named Evie. Let me see. So yeah, let me know what you mean by Evie, and I got you. But let me see real quick. This would be my, yeah, okay, we could actually say this is a general zone because when we look even left over here, we can see how even, oh, wow, okay, yeah. We can see how previously that was pretty significant. So it does seem as if GBP, JPY may have came into some type of resistance currently. So we'll put this actually at the highs here. Scale down to the weekly. And the reason why I'm jumping onto the higher time frames right now, let me see. Oh, okay. So the reason why I'm jumping up from the high, like on these higher time frames is because I really got to take into account everything on what's happening here, because if it's going to continue to be bullish, I want to make sure that I'm identifying that. But right now, I don't think we are, because as you can see here on the smaller, or not the smaller, on the weekly, we can start to see how the candlesticks are behaving around this area, which is important to me. Again, the behavior of candlesticks at a level of structure for me is important. Hint, hint. I want everybody to take that, take that home with you. Now, when I scale down to the daily, we're starting to see, again, more candlestick behavior. So if I can identify behavior at structure, hint, hint, right, I'm probably going to identify the next potential move, maybe even potential entries. Obviously, we're looking for entries. We don't want to just identify the move. So even scaling down to the smaller time frames, I know I keep saying it. I know it's a pattern that we've been identifying pretty much this entire time, I feel. But we can even see here how, I mean, let's actually show the importance on why we identify patterns. If it wasn't important, TradingView would not have an actual tool to identify said pattern, which is in fact the head and shoulders. And that's telling me that there's a potential reversal coming into play, because that's exactly what the head and shoulders pattern is, a reversal pattern. So if I can see that we're currently at a level of structure here on the 4 hour, probably going to find some potential sells here. Again, look at the wicks of these candles, or the behavior of them at this range. So let's do this. I'll get rid of the arrows because you guys already know what I mean. So then I can identify some potential sells from here. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm just identifying the clues that the market is leaving behind. And even here, this is a double top. So that actually looks really, really good. Hopefully that kind of makes sense for you guys. Tesla, that wick though. For Tesla, I don't even, what's Tesla, this? Yeah. See, I don't even, common sense, yo. What wick? I don't look at stocks anymore. I haven't in a while. Why might my US stock look different? I was just about to say, why does it look different? But okay, I don't see the wick, unfortunately, as you can see here, so I can't go over that. So I do apologize. But at least I tried. I got you. So, yeah, I might actually start looking for sells here on GJ. So if in fact, and I'll go take a look at gold really quick to see if there is an entry for us to get into, because I want to at least place at least one trade live with you guys every day, at least, because for the majority of my trades, when I'm looking for them, my targets are anywhere between 30, 50 to 100 pips. If I can at least place 1 to 2 trades with you guys, or maybe like 3 trades a week, that's about, anywhere between 100 to 500 pips a week, just being on these live sessions. And then obviously for legacy students, you guys get the other trades, obviously. But at least if I can give that value, a few hundred pips on the free side for you guys, I definitely want to make sure that we do that. And especially live, it's more transparent that way. Obviously, you get the full detail and understanding on why we place that entry. So that way, if you guys can encounter that situation again, you'll be able to, take advantage of the opportunity and make your own profits. That's the whole reason on why we do these. Help you be more consistent on your trading and help you become a lot more profitable as well, because consistency is going to equal profits, especially when you're confident within your own analysis. I always tell students that when you're confident within your trading, you're able to up your lot sizes, and we already know what that means. You make more money. So hopefully that kind of helps. So I'm not placing a sell on GJ yet. I'm just marking this up in the sense that when I do come back to this, I know exactly what I'm already looking for. I don't have to do my analysis. I already know what my stop loss is looking like. I know where my take profit. To be honest, I never really use a take profit. I always have a stop loss though, because for the most part, I'm a swing trader, right? Sometimes even at this point, a position trader, because I've been holding trades I didn't realize for weeks and months at this point. And it's not a bad thing. It depends on the swap fee too, and the commission. But so far, so good. Because sometimes those swap fees get insane, or sometimes you get paid for it too. So I got one that's really like getting hit with the swap fee, and I got one that's making money on the swap fee, which is cool. So I do want to identify obviously a stop loss, but as far as a take profit, I'm not really too worried about it. But I do identify where the market can start. Yeah, I mean, going against my initial trade. So let's say if I did sell and I see respect here and it starts looking like it's going to buy, then I would manually take profits. But if that's broken, obviously, why would I want my take profits to be there when I can catch the whole initial move? So that's kind of like how I identify things for the most part. But if you're looking at this, I mean, this does look like a solid sell range with this being targets 1. I'll get rid of this up here. Now, again, I am not placing an entry on this as of yet, but I'm identifying this area as a potential entry zone. What? Targets 1. Hopefully, come on. There we go. All right, so GJ looking for like strong sells. Kind of correlates the same thing we're looking at with GU. Right, we're looking at the idea. Oh, I froze. Damn, I thought I was going to stay this whole time without freezing. Let me go do this. Deactivate, activate. There we go. Now I got it all simplified. I don't know why I keep freezing. Dang, yo, wrong. Good looks, yo. Yeah, it's crazy, and it's just a random thing too. Let me see if I froze again. No, all right, cool. Yeah, it's a very random thing. It's cool. It's crazy too because I had a 3070 RTX and I have a 3090 RTX, and like my computer is a beast, and it just keeps freezing. I have no idea why. So hopefully it doesn't happen again. If it does, thank you if you let me know in advance. And good looks, Ron. Let me see real quick. I need to study candlestick patterns. I definitely suggest that you do because they're really, really vital to especially my trading. I was saying for buying the car. Oh, are you saying, oh, for EV buy a Tesla? I might, but I'm not going to get a Tesla. I'm looking at the Porsche Taycan. It's an electric car, or the Audi. I forgot what it's called. The Audi e-Qtron. It's one of their fastest Audis. So I want to even get that because right now I got a Nissan GTR and it's fast, but those electric cars are way faster. I'm not even gonna lie. Anytime I pulled up to a Tesla Plaid in my GTR, and it's full bolt on, but those Plaids destroy me every single time. So I'm like, I might get an electric car. Not even for the gas, just to go a little bit faster. It's crazy. But I've been thinking about it. I've been considering it. I took a sell on GJ for the same looks and markup you did. Oh, for real? My guy. See, Rome, one of the legacy students, you already know how to do this. Yeah, I mean, this is just repetitive to you at this point. You already know. But that's exactly what I'm looking at. So you should definitely feel not accomplished, but you should definitely feel proud of the fact that you're identifying this a lot better. Because I do remember you came in and you had an idea of what to do. Now you know exactly what to do, which is beautiful. So I definitely got you, brother. It's a good investment since gas increased. I'm not worried about it. This is why I trade forex, so I can afford gas, to be really honest. But let me see what else. Yeah, GJ, that GJ looks good. All right, so now I'm caught up on comments and everything. So I just wanted to make sure I was giving you guys information and continuing to see if the market was going to give us profits. But yeah, I do like the way GJ currently looks. I'm personally not going to enter a trade on this just yet. I do want to see how it develops a little bit more. I mean, even here on the 1 hour, the candlestick patterns here are giving me a strong idea of what's happening. You know, so I mean, if triple top even. So I would definitely suggest you guys understand your candlestick patterns, your patterns in general. Like patterns is what rules the market, if you will. A lot of the patterns will dictate what the market's future will be, and also what your entries should be as well. So definitely take a look at those. Let me go take a look at gold real quick, see what we got. Okay, still kind of chilling within that area. Again, there has not been an entry made on this as of yet. We're just allowing this market to develop and really show us what it wants to do. And we have about a few more minutes, rather. We got what? Says 17 minutes left until this is actually closed. So I want to see how this 1 hour candlestick closes. I think this will be closing here in about 2 hours. Oh, about like hour 17. Okay, so even the 4 hour, I want to see how this initially closes as well. So we'll be waiting a little bit to see how gold initially reacts around this area. Again, this trend line is not valid. This is just something here that we're using for right now to see if it can in fact be respected even currently and even in the near future, because that third touch will validate the idea of it. So if I can identify something like that, I want to see if this is valid, right? Because I want to see if there's any potential trades here. But right now, gold, nothing so far, but hopefully sometime soon, because one of my favorite markets to trade, if not my favorite. Even though sometimes it'd be disrespectful, I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, any other charts, any other markets you guys want to take a look at? feel free to let me know. I'm just going to skim through, see if there's anything of worth to really speak on, because I don't want to keep you guys too long. I don't want to just drag it just for like YouTube views and duration and all that. Honestly, the only reason why I'm on YouTube is because Facebook did not allow me to play music, and they kept banning me, and I got banned for like 30 days. So YouTube's cool with a lot of stuff. So I'm not doing it for views or nothing. So this is really just for you guys, value, just giving back. So if you guys have any questions, any markets you guys want to take a look at, feel free to let me know. Definitely got you guys. Let me see. Ethereum. So here's a good idea of what I think is happening or going to happen with cryptos right now. Everything, I mean, this is, again, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but you're looking at a head and shoulders pattern here, somewhere around this area possibly. So I think that everything is setting up for initial sells, but right now, as you can see, it's currently bullish, but I don't think that's going to last for too long. Did I freeze again? I did not. Okay, so I think we're setting up for a nice correction here from these buys. Now, even with the market showing strong sells, I do think that we're looking for, some type of corrective move back to the downside. We're finding some type of resistance even here. It's not really at a level of resistance yet. Actually, let's see how. Not really. I don't think so. So I'll just leave this as its own resistance here. I know it looks weird right now, but I would see what happens around this area, because right now you're looking for either one of two things. We're actually going to do this, make it a little bit easier. And I know you guys hear the noise in the background. Welcome to New York City if you've never been. So it's going to be loud no matter what time. So, because it's literally the morning and they're doing construction. So let's do this. You're in a ranging market. This will determine the next move of what what Ethereum is going to do. Currently, I know the whole market is not ranging. I know the whole initial market is currently trending, obviously. But right now, what the market is doing is ranging. Oop. As far as like this time frame right here, I'm not talking about the overall market, just right there. So ranging. So since we're ranging here, let's actually make this a little bit bigger. We're going to wait for a break of either end. So this is so we'll actually just do this. Breaks above structure. I can't spell right now. I can't see right now. Structure. Oh my God, I'm just gonna leave it like that. Breaks above structure equal buys. You guys know I can spell. All right, so break above structure equals buys. And then vice versa. Very self-explanatory. Break below equals sells. So very simple idea, right? So I want to see what this market's going to do, because right now market structure or the trend itself is very bullish. So if we have a break above that level of structure, obviously we're going to look for continued buys, or the market's just going to continue in its bullish movement. If you're not going to day trade it, if you're just investing into it rather. So, and again, I personally don't day trade crypto. I'm going to start just because it's just very volatile. Works the same as far as, your strategy going into it, for forex pairs, to be completely honest. But if obviously I see a break below this level of structure, it's probably going to look for a more of a sell, maybe back down to this level here too, right? So you have these levels of structures that we can identify that will be reached if in fact this low is broken. But right now, I would think that in this bullish market, it'll reach a little bit of a higher point before a dramatic sell-off, I think, leading into the summer. I have no fundamental or insider trading info on that. That's just kind of like how notoriously crypto has worked, in a sense. We get these bullish rallies leading into the in the early stages of the year, leading into May, June, and then during the summer we see these dramatic sell-offs. I don't know why that is. It's just a technical pattern or technical standpoint that we see with the majority of cryptos. For a while now, I would say for the past 2-3 years, because for a while the crypto market was just booming with little to no regard to any downside. But I do think that for the majority of what we're going to be seeing is maybe a stronger sell-off coming sometime soon. So I would say bullish for now, but bearish coming up. And I know a lot of people disagree, but it's just banks, institutions, when you look at how and who these big wigs of people with money are, they're not able to actually come into the market and invest as of yet. Or I think they're able to now legally, because I believe that investors or anybody who worked on the floor, if you will, were able to actually invest into cryptocurrencies. But now they are able to, if not soon, they're not going to want to buy at the highs, right? I think that's the first thing we learn when we get into the markets, right? And don't buy at highs and don't sell at lows. That's the same thing, I think, or the approach that the majority of the people with big money, I'm talking about billions and trillions of dollars that, only banks and oligarchs have for the most part, right? So I do want to see what this initial market is going to do for future reference, but I think we're going to see a strong push to the downside sometime soon. I don't think it's going to be here. It could be somewhere up here. We might see, continued bullish rally. But I mean, coming back down to this level of structure is one idea that I'm looking at for Ethereum. And I'm also even looking back down to these lows as well. Now, if that's met, I mean, that'll be beautiful because it'll be way easier for a lot of people to, I would say, make the majority of their money off of these markets. Because overall, I do think that Ethereum itself will be the best investment for cryptocurrency. Obviously Bitcoin, but Ethereum is more applicable in the sense of where you could actually use it at. You can look at NFTs. You have to go through Ethereum to get NFTs. Gas fees is based off Ethereum. Now companies, you can actually start buying things online and even in store with Ethereum a little bit more easier. If we could do that now, in the future, it's just going to grow and progress even more. Same with Bitcoin, same with others. But I do think with the application of Ethereum, how it's being used and kind of how widespread it is, I think Ethereum overall will be more bullish than anything else and be your best investment, in my honest opinion. So, yeah, just to give you an idea on that. Can you look at Ethereum? I did. I was going over Ethereum the whole time. You asked twice. I got you. You're selling EuroCAD since Friday. What do you think? What should I cash out? That's up to you. I'm not going to go over that only because you got to build your own confidence, right? If I was to tell you and I'm wrong, let's say you sell and you take profits at that place and it just continues to sell, you're going to be mad at me. You're going to be real mad at me because you're like, damn, I could have made more money. I should have never listened to Jay. This is the time, and this is me being very honest. This is me being brutally honest. So please don't take offense to this. But you have to trust your own analysis. If you don't, you're never going to be successful in trading. This is a very lonely sport. I know I've taken the time out to help you guys, but I'm also helping you. This is a very big, I would say the most important tip, not just for you, but for everybody listening. You need to make that decision yourself. And that's not to sound disrespectful, but that's because what happens if you can't ask that question to nobody? You're not going to want to make that decision yourself. You're just going to continue to search for that answer from an outside source. If you continue to do that, one, you're not going to get the true understanding of how to be a consistent and profitable trader, and two, you're going to lose money because you're going to probably marry the trade, stay in too long. There's a lot of factors that go into it. So this is just me being brutally honest. I can't tell you that because as a trader, you have to make the decision on your own. I just went over EuroCAD actually pretty extensively right before we started. I think it's going to continue to sell, but I want you to make that decision yourself. Only because that's going to help you get to that next level. And that's a psychological thing. I promise you it is, because I can't tell you that's what I went through big time in my beginning of my trading career. I would always ask, where do you think it's going to take profits at? Where do you think it's going to go? And I never focus on, if I just looked, I could see it, and I don't mean it in a disrespectful manner. It's a real thing. So I want you to go find that. And if you want, mark it up on TradingView. I want to see a markup, and then send me your markup, and I'll agree or disagree if I do believe that's where I'm looking at. And then if I agree, then you're going to be like, wow, I know I can do this. And if I disagree, I'm going to show you, but at least you took the attempt to find out. I'll do that with you, so that way, obviously, I put you in the right path. I don't care if you're a legacy student or not. Send me your markup. Find me on Discord. If you're not in the Discord, the link is in the description below. Cool plug. So yeah, I definitely got you. So let me know. But I promise you that's going to help you in the long run. I promise you that. Good morning, Ash. What's good? What's good? All right, so let me take a look at a few more. And then, yeah, I don't really think there's too much. Again, being on a Monday, you're not going to identify too much of an opportunity. What was this? What was these? Oh, the market's just kind of like stuck around here. So, okay. Might just remark this up here in a little bit. But as of now, I mean, you're not going to get too much. Oh yeah, this okay. So we're still in profits on this one. I completely forgot about USD CHF. So let me actually go over this and kind of go over the reasoning on why we bought this. If I'm correct, actually, I bought this based off of a legacy line idea. Let me actually just double check. Oh, not that. Doop, doop. Yeah, okay, so I did actually, this was not based off of a technical analysis standpoint, unfortunately. This was actually based around my initial strategy here. So our entries are, this is why I hate deleting my original analysis. Our entries are somewhere over here, if I'm correct. And we're currently about 35 pips in profit total, about almost 56. But our take profits have not even been hit yet. There might actually be a re-entry here on USD CHF. So let me see real quick, because if there is, I want to make sure that we can get into this. And let me see. So let me scale out. Let me actually use the higher time frame because there is a correction here. Yeah, so this did come back to a level of structure. We can see the rejection from there. So this structure point right here is kind of, it gave me the confirmation in the sense, while using my strategy. I'm not going to go over the strategy right now. It would be way too much. I'm even still trying to figure out how I could make a recording or like a training, an actual training on it. But it's making a training video is not as easy as it sounds. So kudos to anybody who's made a successful training video, because they're not easy at all. I've been trying to, but it's just it's pretty difficult. I can't even lie. But I did see this level of structure here, and then again, using my initial strategy here, I did identify with my strategy an entry point at the support zone. And just to kind of give you a rough idea, it doesn't really show here on TradingView too much, which is weird. So I usually go to MT4 and identify it. But as you see here, there's like a bunch of moving averages and a Bollinger Band. The moving average outside the Bollinger Band there kind of indicates that the market is oversold, and it should give you more of a buy idea. And that's exactly what we got. So our entry was based around here because we had a break above, and then it came right back down to, I mean, this initial strategy's entry criteria. But when I remove everything, I mean, on a technical standpoint, it hit a level of structure and kind of did create that inverted head and shoulders pattern idea. And we can see the break of that neckline and the retest of it. So the retest of that kind of gave us that continued bullish movement, and I do still see continued buys. Now, if everybody's like, but Jay, that candle with selling, it's okay. Look at where our entries are. Doesn't matter. So I would still like to see still continue to identify buys, and we might actually get that from this range. So if we can identify a buy from here, we're going to do that. So we're going to put this as strong buy. Well, I wouldn't say strong. We're just going to put buy kill zone. And as it develops more, then I'll add more analysis. What? I didn't mean to do no QR code. I didn't even know you could do that. That's crazy. Buy kill zone. And let me see real quick. I mean, whoa. I want to enter your class. How much are you? I'm not soliciting anything right now. So I'm not talking about it. I'm just here to give you guys information, brother. That is it. Are you using WhatsApp? Which time are you analyzing when you're teaching your student? Because I'm working now, but I'm pushing myself to watch you on YouTube every day. Just hit me up on Discord or something, bro. I'm just teaching right now. I have nothing to give you besides knowledge right now. That's it. But just hit me up on Discord, brother. I definitely got you. Hit me up on Discord, Facebook, Instagram, Smoke Signal, Morse Code, whatever you guys use. I don't care. I got you. Whatever you guys want. I think I have AOL 5.0 still somewhere. If you guys, I probably dated myself. Used to get CDs for that shit every day. All right, let me see. I went over the Bitcoin and the Ethereum aspect. I got you. I think that right now they're going to start looking for more sells, in my honest opinion. But let me see. I want to see if there's anything that we can actually like enter trades on. Because if there is, obviously, I want to play some with you guys. I'm probably going to go take a look. Yeah, let me see what gold's doing. All right, just still kind of like chilling within that area real quick. So not too much on gold. Oh, I left the comments on YouTube. All right. Didn't we say about GU potential sells from there? So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and place a sell on GJ. So I'm going to do this with you guys real quick. I have my other laptop right next to me. And where's the... oh, I didn't connect the mouse. Damn, I got to do it by the mouse pad. I'll do it here in a second, as long as you guys get in. So I'm going to go ahead and place a sell here on GBP JPY. I'm going to only keep the where it's entered now, just so that way the stop loss is the same, because I don't feel like just moving. Actually, I'll just do this. So this is the stop loss. Obviously, right now, this is the entry, somewhere around that area. So we'll just move the stop loss to where it is now. And then obviously targets one here. So I am going to go ahead and place a sell here on GJ shortly. So that way, obviously, I could be in with you guys. But again, just from the previous analysis, so hopefully you guys were on for the previous analysis. But based on what we looked at before, this is kind of setting up is exactly what we're looking at. So let's see if we can identify ourselves from here. And I'll just mark this back up here because that's the level of structure that we're identifying and looking at. So if you guys want to place that, by all means, feel free to do so. You are not obligated to place any trades or take any of my trades, by no means. But right now, this is setting up and looking very nice to the downside here. And actually, just for fun, let's see if we had to get any confluence with this. Somewhat. Okay, definitely some confluence there. And even here, if I get rid of my strategy here, I do see how this candlestick is kind of forming, even though we only have about, it's about to close here literally now. So it won't close as a bearish engulfing or a morning star candlestick or an evening star candlestick pattern rather, but it might give us something still. So I want to see, I mean, these wicks to the upside, we're going to see some sells here on GJ. So if you want to place that, feel free to do so. If not, by all means, you can sit on your hands, let this market develop a little bit more, trust your own analysis over mine, and then possibly even find a better entry, if not even buys, if that's what your analysis shows you. But this is what I currently see here with GJ. So if you guys would like to do that, by all means, feel free to do so. And I'll just kind of like zoom in so everybody can see that if in fact you do want to place that trade. So yeah, I'll go over a few more and then I'll let you guys be. I don't want to keep you guys too long, again, because I know going over the charts for like 3-4 hours is kind of like inconsistent. I'm not going to just sit here and just talk about randomness. I just want to give you guys information, show you guys what I'm looking at, and then see what we can do from there. So let me actually go ahead and see if there's anything else. I'll start from the top here. Definitely not. I'm not even going to look at that. That looks, personally, I don't know how about you guys, but I'd never trade anything that looks like this. That's a no-go for me. No-go for me. Still need some more. Probably going to consolidate here. So what you're going to see me do really quick is you're going to just see me identify things rather quickly, only because I look for specific things, and I've looked for those specific things for so long. When you get to a point of, again, just consistently looking for the same thing over and over again, this becomes a lot faster and easier to do. And that just goes for anything that you do consistently. As far as like work, if you work and you've got a job, you know how to do your job, you've been doing it for 30 years, of course you're gonna be great at it against the first 3 months that you was there. So it's kind of like the same thing with trading. So we're trying to identify the same things over and over, but in a manner that's going to give us profits. Now, actually, now that we're on AUD/USD, let me actually see what we have here, because I do see strong sells. Now it's just allowing the market to really develop and give us that. Again, looking left to get right, I can see that we're at a level of strong resistance. So let me see if I froze yet. I'm not even playing on this right now. I have not frozen. Okay, bet. So what I'm looking at right now is resistance. So that level of resistance currently is being respected right now on AU. Now, obviously, there is more structural highs. I know that we're looking up here as well. That's great. We can identify both of those areas. But right now, what I can see is, again, this level is currently being respected. And I mean that because we can see how the market is currently reacting around here. So when I scale down to smaller time frames, I'm not really getting too much. I'll delete everything. This might actually turn into a potential breakout pattern. I don't like saying bullish or bearish, but because I've seen bullish ones go bearish and bearish ones go bullish. But this might actually turn into a potential breakout pattern. We actually still have that resistance, obviously. So we'll actually mark it up like that. And even on a, this time frame aspect, we want to get detailed. We have our zone there. Obviously, I mean, we can connect it to these highs, mostly what we should be doing. You can see this level of structure right here, obviously being held. Now, I might actually go ahead and play some sells here sometime soon as well. Not yet, but I might actually go ahead and start looking for that soon, because I don't like being the guy to go against my own ideas, but And the reason why I'm saying this is because usually when you get a double top, and I'll explain what I'm talking about here originally in a second, but a double top is like usually want to be found at a fresh level of structure, or there's some space in between the last touch of that structure. You don't want it to be immediate, and you don't also want that level of structure to be met so many times, because then it kind of defeats the idea of a double top over here. But over here, we're kind of getting, that sense of a double top, right? Because again, you see how much this level of structure has already been tested. It's kind of hard to say, well, this is a double top when this has been met many times. But the idea of the pattern, so I am going to use it as far as the idea of it, right? So we do have an initial double top here. By doctrine is what they're supposed to be considered. So that could be also a selling factor here with AU coming up. So I do want to identify that idea. Okay. 15 minute, not too much here, even on the 15. So again, on a Monday, you're not going to get too much volatility or characteristics, if you will, of maybe a direction of where the market's going to intend on going immediately. We mark up our charts on Mondays to really to get an idea, right? To really make sure that, oh, well, I marked up my charts yesterday. Now it's Tuesday, New York session. And now everything's kind of coming into my markup. Everything's kind of showing some volatility. It's at where I thought it was going to sell. Maybe I could look for entries here. And then the market starts developing and giving you the volatility and saying, yes, in fact, we are looking at potential sells or buys, whatever your analysis is at that point. So right now, you're not going to get too much of, markups and crazy ideas. But I just want to skim through, see if there's anything else that we could initially speak on, and then go from there. I'll take a look at some indices or US 30 or NAS, whatever, here shortly to see if that, see, just continued sells. So let's see. Not too much. Euro NZD is actually very volatile. It seems like the New Zealand dollar is gaining a lot of volatility. So let me actually see what we have here. Oh yeah, no, really not much. Yeah, this is kind of like in no man's land as far as its movement. So I'll take a look at Euro NZD when it's important, but I'm just going to draw this out because I do believe that that's where it's intending on going. If that's the case, that's crazy. Because Euro NZD is also a market that pays out very heavily. As far as entries or anything, I don't see anything as of yet. Obviously, here on the weekly, we already had the break below that point. So you could clearly see that the break below that low, the retest of it, and we can see how that market's just continued to push down lower. Absolutely, look at that. So yeah. I know I just randomly came onto this market, but I'm gonna be paying very heavily attention to Euro NZD now because that's a clear direction. That's a clear idea. So obviously break below that point. And I'm just marking this up really quick because not too much on this as of yet. There's no entry on it, so I don't want to go crazy on this, but I would say maybe entries right back around that area. So if in fact this does work out, and we start seeing some potential, corrections, we might find some sells from that point. See how fast that was? If you know what you're looking for, it just becomes natural. So we'll just do this. Sell kill zone. So I know I did that fast, but that was just because that was a random market. I didn't intend on actually looking at that, but I just wanted to see if there was anything that we could have got into on that right now, but not necessarily. And we'll just add that trend line for future reference because if there is a third touch of it, it could be used as confluence and a potential entry. Or if it's broken, then we know we don't look for potential sells, and it's probably going to look for reversals to the upside somewhere. So just a quick idea with that. So let me see. Oh man, I forgot. Oh yeah, we're still in sells on this. I completely forgot about that. So on the auto trader, we're still on sells on this shit. We sold from up here. If I'm correct, we sold from somewhere up here. I don't know if I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, I'm a guru and we sold from up here. Definitely not. But I think we sold from somewhere over here and we're still in profits on that. That's beautiful. I like that. Oh, I didn't see all that. Mark Crosby, hey Jay, what do you say to traders claiming trend lines or any lines for that matter don't work? Some claim we should be using the footprint as we can see the amount of orders placed within candles. That's a good question. Trend lines work. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm not trying to talk down on any strategy or any way of trading. If it makes money, it makes sense. I see a lot of people who use this strategy and it works for them. You know what I mean? So if it works for them, I'm not what can I say? But what I don't agree on is bank trading or money flow or smart money concepts. I don't believe in that whatsoever, because what you're looking at is you're trying to identify using a candlestick where orders were placed, and none of that really is in essence, to be honest, true. What you're looking at is an order block is where at a level of what structure was. They're looking at it to identify using a specific candle, and that's never really the case. You're looking at a price point. You're not looking at a specific point. So what they're doing is you're minimizing how many entries you can actually place, because and how many, I mean, if you really look at it, they're using the 5, 15, 30-minute time frame, maybe even the hour, because they can't do anything over the higher time frame, because that smart money concept doesn't work, right? Are you going to use an order block on the daily or weekly? No, because you'll be placing 5 trades a year. Makes sense? So in the sense of what really works, if you're really identifying on what works, let's use facts. When the banks actually traded, they were using trend lines, but they weren't using how we did. They actually had to use protractors. They actually had to use tools to identify the angles that the market were making as far as a trend is concerned. And then thus the trend line was born. That is a bank-made concept. So if a bank trader is saying it's not, they're kind of going against the grain there. Makes sense? I hope I ain't anger anybody with facts, but that's real talk. And if you don't believe me, go look it up. You know what I mean? Where do you think the concept of trading came from? Us? No. The concept of trading came from the banks. So all the tools that they use have been passed down to us, which is Fibonacci, trend lines, identifying price and structure. It's not identifying a candlestick in an order block, because I mean, look, there's so many order blocks that I can identify right now that haven't been met. So for instance, this is an order block right here. That's a missed opportunity for a sell. But if you identify the fact that there was a head and shoulders pattern, you sell off the right shoulder like how we did, you identified a beautiful entry and you're still in that. So the idea of bank trading and smart money concept does not apply. An intelligent way of saying nah. And let me see real quick. Need a broker suggestion. Jay, currently have Hugo's Way and KOT4. If you actually go into the description of this live, I actually do need to make an announcement on this, but I actually did go into partnership and opened a broker with some people. This is the second one, but obviously this is going to be the main. This is going to be actually my broker. So congratulations to me, I guess, and to the partners that I'm associated with as well. So if you go into the description below, you can actually go ahead and sign up for that as well. That goes for anybody, because since it's a new broker, any support definitely helps. So thank you guys. But yeah, definitely got you on that. And it has the lowest spreads. I'm talking about the lowest spreads for US 30 or any index trading, and even for forex pairs. I guarantee that. And if not, let me know so I can make some changes. I hit take profits on Euro NZD. Oh, that's right. You were in that. Beautiful. And I would say keep holding that. Don't get out of Euro NZD whatsoever. I'm Mark Crosby. Yeah, I just find it bizarre. Some claim trend lines don't work since there are so many successful traders using them. Thanks, Jay. Yeah, snap, never a problem, bro. And damn, I didn't realize how many people we actually had on today. Yo, thank you guys so much for being on. I really do appreciate it. I'm just trying to build a community, as you can see, just based off of profits and value and consistency. So I do appreciate you guys being on today. Thank you. From my heart, I'm very grateful. Thank you. So real quick, let's see. I mean, Euro USD is going to continue to sell. I wish I could have got you guys into that, but we should still be on that on the auto trader here. I'll take a look here in a second when I get off. And then obviously place any trades that we have. Oh, also any legacy students that are on right now, I really suggest that you go ahead and get, damn, I don't know if you guys heard that outside, but New York already turned it up. But if you guys, for legacy students, if you are not with the EA right now, I really suggest that you get on it, because it is killing the fucking markets right now. I'm going to test it heavily, more aggressively on forex pairs, but right now it is destroying gold, and I absolutely love it. Overnight, it made over 1,500. Right now, it's probably making a little bit more because it has trades placed. But over $1,400 it made. All demo. Just be transparent. It's not live money. It's a demo FTMO. Just tracking the success and the consistency of it. But legacy students, I suggest y'all get on it, because if we can pass these prop firms with this EA, I'm going to make sure that I actually dish this EA to every last one of you guys, so that way you guys can get acquire some more funds for your trading, and then use that EA to continue to make money as well. That's the whole point of it. So legacy students, hit me up if you haven't gotten the email or from me yet. So let me see what else you guys got. And never a problem. Yeah, if I want to enter, tell me the ID. Just hit me up, Ash. I got you. I'm not trying to sell that, man. Just want to teach you guys. But let me see what else we got. Let's see what else we got. I'll see if there is any other potential trade. Let's see GJ. Okay, still just stuck there. Gold. Okay. This is why we wait. This is why we allow the markets to develop and really show us what it wants to do and not immediately jump in. Because right now, if we did place any sells, we'd be in a little bit of drawdown. I do feel confident with GJ. I really do. But with gold, I want this to just chill a little bit more, see what it can initially do. And if I'm correct, this was in buys on the EA too. So that probably already took profits, which is crazy. I got the EA to set for like 50 profits or 50 pips for take profit. With a stop loss or trailing stop loss at 10 pips. So usually just anywhere between 10 to 50 bucks is like beautiful for me. And it's just consistently doing that. It's crazy. But yeah, I do think that we're going to hold off on gold really quick. Euro CAD. Oh, let me not show you. I want you to be able to identify that for yourself. Again, Euro JPY. I thought I saw somebody say Euro JPY sells. I mean, if you're looking at this, you can see what the market's initially giving you. It's selling at least down to this point. I did identify the previous time when we looked at this that, let me make sure I haven't frozen yet. Did I freeze? I did freeze. Give me 1 second. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Deactivate, activate. Perfect, we're back. All right. I just randomly freeze for no reason. And let me see. At least I want to enter your group. I got you. No worries, man. Hit me up after. But yeah, before when I was looking at Euro JPY, because I already messed up on that. Let me get rid of this really quick. When I was looking at Euro JPY previously, it was somewhere like this, and I said that we're going to probably identify some potential buys or at least a reaction from this point, like a decision area, if you will. And as you can see, the market actually did give us that. So the market started to move, and it came back down to that level eventually. Let's see. Bam. So when we reached that level, you can see that it did have a reaction. Now, the reason why I personally did not place any buys on this, by no means, did not place any trades on this at all. It was just me identifying. So no money was made on this. But I did identify that the market was creating these lower highs. And with these lower highs, it's not a good idea because the market could be losing its initial bullish volatility. So let me get rid of this. So since the market started losing its bullish volatility, we can see those lower highs being made. I do think that we're going to get a break below. So if we get a break below that structure point, I'll be looking for continued sells. Now, is there an idea for buys from here? Absolutely, right? We could definitely see some potential buys from here. We're in a bullish market. This is a buy structure point. As far as market structure itself, lower lows have not been made. Lower highs, in a sense, have. But as far as lower lows, market structure is still being maintained. So there is a potential for buys. So let's actually just do this really quick. So if respected, I can spell respected, but I can't spell structure. I don't get it. If respected, we can look for strong buys. And then we'll put this as a side note. But if broken, we will look for continued sells. And I can't spell for apparently. There we go. We will look for continued sells. Just as a sidebar from that. Let me make sure, did I freeze yet? I have not. All right. So I would be identifying more along the lines of, just that in a sense. So I'm going to get rid of this and then go from there. And let me see, Rome. If you're looking for straight up teacher that has passion of teaching and helping people of all walks of life, hit up Jay. He real. Yo, I appreciate that, homie. Appreciate that. Let's see. I want to see our people win, man. I understand what trading could do. You know what I mean? Like, I'll be real with you guys. I was dead broke at one point. I'm talking about dead broke. Dead broke. I had females pay for dates, you know what I mean? Like, it was that bad. You know, and this was right after leaving the military. So it wasn't like I had a choice and I had to take this. And I understand since this gave me, I never really did this for the money. I did it for the time aspect, being able to just do as I please whenever I wanted to. And I want to be able to give that back to you guys. So any legacy student, you guys already know that. But even here, even on these calls, I'm just marking up charts. Even this is value, but I'm not going over like everything. You know what I mean? So even with this, even with the simple concepts that I give you, I get people hitting me up saying, yo, I already understand how to trade so much better. And that's just giving you the bare bone basics, right? So imagine if you guys was to take this and then apply this to whatever strategy and knowledge that you guys have. By all means, everybody here is not going to be rich. You're going to be rich with time, right? That's the biggest thing. You want to have more time than anything. And yeah, sometimes money does bring that, but and I really care. I like teaching. Teaching's fun too, man. Teaching is fun, and it also is this also helps you guys like the legacy students because when I teach, I understand that I have a lot of people watching. So if I was not a good trader, if I was not real about this, anybody here can call you out on that. You know what I mean? So I try to be as perfect as possible, try to be as detailed as possible, and informative as possible because I want to make sure that one, I'm building again this community through information and knowledge, and consistency. But also, there's competition everywhere within here, so I'm just trying to be a little bit different and actually teach. These motherfuckers I see, they just be on for like 3 hours just on a 15-minute time frame. I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird thing. So I'm just trying to reinvent the wheel, if you will, with this. Make sure that the people actually give value and understand that there is money to be made on a different scale, and this scale here being the best in my opinion. So we'll do that. Bang. So let me see what else you guys got. Any questions? Any other charts? Any other markets you guys want to take a look at? Feel free to let me know. If not, look at that. Euro NZD just falling. Euro USD just falling. Love it. Look at that. GJ somewhat coming back into favor. So I still have the opportunity to place that for myself. GBP. Oh my God. These markets. Look at that. Oh man. Did anybody sell GU? I should have sold that. This was in the beginning of the call too. We were looking at GU for potential sells. So H1 structure, sell kill zone. I was just going to think that the market was going to develop a little bit more here, give us some more candlestick patterns. But nah, it just continued to sell. So, and we were looking at this candlestick too. It wasn't there specifically. It was like still somewhere down here. But if anybody did in fact sell GU, you're definitely in profits. And for for Jocelyn, if you're already in profits on that, continue to hold that because I know right now GU is definitely working in our favor. So continue to hold GBP USD to the downside, which is a good indication hopefully for GJ because if GU is pushing down, the correlation of the pound should in fact continue to push that lower as well. And I froze again. At least like my freeze frames don't make me look too bad though. It's the haircut. All right, so I'm back. I keep freezing out of nowhere, and I have no idea why. Like again, my camera's cool, my computer's on point, everything just freezes. Oh, I froze again. Hold up. This thing don't like me. Let's see. There we go. Hopefully I don't freeze. It's the craziest thing, and it looks weird too because then I have like a funny face. So it just makes me look even weirder. All right, so hopefully I don't freeze. I think if I just like make any big movements, I go ahead and just freeze in general. So hopefully I'm solid. All right. Hopefully I'm good. Let me just double check. Okay. All right. And I know it's taking a while for me to check, but it's like there's a delay between me and you in the stream. So it is a little bit more difficult for me to keep track of everything. All right, so hopefully I don't freeze anytime soon. But GJ, hopefully that works in our favor. And anybody who got into GU, you're more than in profit. So hopefully these trades do work in our favor. And if GU's falling, that might mean that, oh, look at that. That might mean gold's going to sell. So let's go ahead. You know what? I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to sell gold as well. Let me actually just do that now. So I'm going to sell gold. I'm going to sell GJ rather. So let me do that now. I'm on my phone doing this really quick so that way I can... Where's gold? Oh, there it is. Oh my God. I don't know how that had a 50 standard on that. Oh, because I was testing gold on the EA with ridiculous lot sizes. When you change it back, it still has the same. Oh my God. If I would have put that, I would have lost my mind. I accidentally used a 50 standard twice in my life. One of them successful, one of them not so successful. And I can't tell you how stressed out I was. So I definitely don't want to make that mistake again. All right, so let me do that. And this was like in the beginning of my trade career. And in case anybody's wondering, I'll tell you this real quick. It was the broker, if you would like to know. All right, that's placed. So I just sold gold. The broker, in case anybody's wondering, at the time was called FXLegacy. And you actually get 1 in 3,000 leverage. So imagine that. So my stress levels was over the roof. And I think that broker should still exist. I don't see why not. I haven't used that broker in forever. I don't think I've ever used that broker in years. But yes, FXLegacy, in case anybody wants a high level of leverage, fxlegacy.com. Do I suggest it? Absolutely not. Especially if you're new, because it can get you in a lot of trouble. And their spreads are so ridiculously high. I think GJ spreads like 14 pips. But if you want to take your chances, go ahead, do FX Glory. But I definitely don't suggest it, to be honest, because when I say I got in a lot of trouble, it got me into a lot of trouble. Being able to place that amount of, volume is pretty crazy. The win that I had was about $1,000, only because I think the moment that I saw it in profits, I just immediately canceled out, and the loss that I had was I think like 5,000 because I was like, I don't want to see what more it could be, and I just completely can't. And I think it would have been way more too if I didn't cancel that trade out. So I accidentally placed 50 lot sizes by accident, and I mean, talk about stress beyond stress. But have I frozen yet? I did. I froze again. All right. Well, that's cool anyway, because we're going to conclude here in a little bit anyway. I definitely want to make sure that I'm placing some trades for the auto trader and sending signals out to the group. But right now, if you guys want, I mean, I have already placed a sell on gold. Look at that. And I've also placed a sell on GJ. So you guys got 2 trades so far for the day with us on the live. Hopefully these do continue to work in our favor. I keep freezing on the OBS here. Hopefully I don't continue to do so. But yeah, right now, if you guys have, we should be in. I thought we should be in small profits. Came up a little bit, but it is showing a little bit of favor to the downside. So let's see how gold reacts around here. I'll actually adjust this trend line in the event that this is in fact going to be valid in the future. And again, this is why we just let the markets work, adapt as they move, and then go from there. So I'm actually going to move this to here for our structure. So let me get rid of this because that's really not important. But yeah, gold looking as if it's going to set up beautifully for us in the meantime. So let me see. Okay, no other questions, nothing else. So real quick, if you guys can, I would definitely appreciate it because it definitely helps. And it has been helping. I can see already the community growing. By all means, feel free to share this video with anybody. I know this is already like it's a live, but the information given here could definitely help. Please like the video. It definitely helps as well. I want to build this community again through just transparency and profits. And the more that this grows, the more profits that you guys will make with me. And I promise, whether you're a legacy student or not, as you see here, we will be placing trades. And I'm not talking about 10, 15, 20 pips. I'm talking about a whole week's worth of paychecks right there in one trade. You know what I mean? So it's really important that, we build this. So if you guys can, please please do whatever, because it definitely helps. Again, I just want to build this through the most transparent and most valuable way possible. I know I froze again, so you can't see how sincere I am. So let's do that. I don't know why I keep freezing. It's crazy, but all right. So hopefully I don't keep freezing. But I definitely appreciate you guys for being on today, especially everybody. Like usually we only had a few people. Now we actually had quite a lot actually. So I definitely appreciate that. We're growing, and I love that. So let's continue to grow this community through transparency, value, and consistency. And as we do, more profits will be made on my end for you guys. So I definitely appreciate that. With that being said, thanks, Jay, informative session. Always, man. Always got to be. So with legacy students, I want to start bringing back binary at night. So as we're doing our sessions here, we're marking up charts and really getting a strong sense here. We might actually start doing our binary sessions. And with binary sessions, I'll be teaching the legacy line strategy. I think that's the easiest way for me to really help you guys. As long as you guys read the PDF, because the PDF is mad simple. I've worked with the guys that actually created the strategy, and I tweaked some things, and then I told them my legacy line entries, if you will. So they kind of gave me the leeway to make some adjustments and shit, because this is originally not my strategy, but the way that I use it with the extra moving averages, the way that I enter, the way that I identify things, because it's all based with price action, it's kind of like the sense of mine, but with their settings. So I was able to actually identify using their help with their PDF. And I still got to make a little bit of adjustments on it as well, because I want to start adding the legacy line ideas to it. So that PDF is going to help big time. And then I'll be able to teach you guys the strategy while going over the binary sessions as well. So let's go. Yeah, I definitely got you guys, man. So if you guys want to be on the binary calls, I might actually start making that. I'll probably put a little vote bot in the Discords to see if legacy students, you guys want to do the binary sessions again, because those are pretty fun. And again, this is all demo. I practice on a demo. But I mean, taking a $10,000 account and turning it into what I had like $600,000 in less than 45 minutes. And again, that was demo. That was not real money. I was just practicing using this strategy with our legacy line entries, if you will. But that was all demo. But the fact that you could do that, that's kind of crazy. You know what I mean? It's pretty insane. So I want to see if we can replicate that, because if we can even make money doing binary, which I know we can because we did before, we can even add that to the platform for you guys as well. and maybe even do a binary session once a week with you guys, non-legacy students, maybe on a Friday right before the markets close, because I did see a lot of success during that time, because it's just ranging. You're not getting too much of a movement, so it's perfect at that time. So yeah, and I'll even teach the legacy line strategy with doing binary sessions. So being able to do that will be fun. I think that'll be a great value to legacy students, and then go from there. But yes, we'll conclude for right now. We'll catch back on first thing tomorrow morning, everybody. Again, just want to stay on for a little bit, give you guys as much information and give you guys an insight of what I believe some of these markets will be doing. And then obviously, if we can, try to make some profits as we continue learning and progressing and building this community. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for being on today. Seriously, from the bottom of my heart, I'm very grateful. We're seriously building this community. So as we do this, the more profits you guys will make. So I highly appreciate any and all support that you guys have given. With that being said, have an amazing day and a start to the great trade week as well. If you guys have any questions throughout the week, feel free to hit me up by any means necessary. You know what I mean? Whether it's Discord, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, I'm always available. And if I don't hit you up immediately, I apologize. I'll be mad busy. I have a lot of people hitting me up and shit, and I just froze again, and I look weird. So let me go ahead and fix that. I'm not ending the session like that. All right, so hopefully I don't freeze again. But yeah, again, I do appreciate you guys. I can't tell you how grateful I am. I really am. So again, if you guys have anything, feel free to let me know. I'm always available. With that being said, we'll conclude for today. Any signals that I have as well, I'll put in the Discord, and I'll also send up these charts in the Discord for you guys to use as well. So again, thank you guys. Thank you, Rome. Thank everybody for being on. Thank you for those who shared. Thank you guys for those who liked. And I'll see you guys on